The Chicago Bears have signed a Super Bowl winning safety. Justin Fields reportedly has talked to Chase Claypool, and now we have more details about some of the things that went on with Chase Claypool that kind of make sense why the Bears are ready to separate on top of his play on the field. We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. You got Bobby Haize in the building. C-Dub is on podcast PTO, taking care of business, but we're going to hold it down today. First up, Bobby, the Bears have signed Duron Harmon. Now, this is a guy who's won 3 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. And he was drafted in 2013. He was a third-round pick, 11-year veteran. He's played 161 games with 78 starts in his career. Now, considering Eddie Jackson is dealing with some injury stuff, he has said that he does expect to be on the field against the Washington Commanders. We'll see if that ends up happening. But what do you think about this signing for the Bears?
I think it's good, man. You bring in a guy that's experienced, probably bounced around a little bit. I believe that he had a little stint with the Ravens and then also the Raiders or whatnot. And, hey, if you coming from a team like the Ravens, I believe you got some good pedigree behind you because we know how Harbaugh, coaches over there, John. And he does his thing over there. He coaches his guys well. I believe it's just a depth piece, but I'm not mad at it. You got to bring in guys, to shore up the holes within your defense. And probably this Sunday, they probably didn't like who they had out there in the back, covering the back end because they was good first half. And then in the second half, they kind of just let it all go. Maybe if you had somebody with a little bit of more of a veteran presence who has Super Bowl experience and good team success, within his experience, maybe one of those guys are able to calm things down a little bit before it gets too out of hand. So I don't know if it's going to be a huge difference maker, but I ain't mad at the sign of hell. We need help.
Facts. So you were right. He actually was with the Raiders last season. The Falcons and the Detroit Lions are the teams he played with other than the Patriots. But yeah, I mean, listen, when you're going for a depth piece, adding a veteran, I'm almost never going to be mad at. Are we looking to rely on him heavily? Not necessarily. He did start 16 games last season out of 17 just in 2022. So, I mean, listen, he had 63 tackles last season, 23 solo tackles, 23 assisted tackles. So, hey, this is a guy who's still productive. 2 interceptions he had last season as well. So it can produce. And so, when you need depth, when you need some stability in that defense overall, especially when your secondary has been extremely weakened as it has been, you can do a lot worse, bro. So I'm not too mad at the signing.
Yeah, you can't be too mad at it. It is what it is. We got to see can we eventually turn this thing around or see if we can at least take a lot of positives away from the remaining weeks, because right now we don't even want to get into it, because the moment somebody brings up what happened Sunday, I just go on this rant and I'll be like, see, why you just mess up my day? So come on, man. We got to get this thing secured. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and we'll see if the Bears can, and we need to improve some things, man. But moving on, one of the biggest things is the Bears have been so drama-filled, bro. But Justin Fields reportedly talked to Chase Claypool. You got the quotes from that. What you got, bro?
All right, so my guy Justin Fields, he went on. He said that he talked to Chase Claypool kind of like right around when he found out that he was not gonna be present. He said that, hey, he was cool, he was good. I was just really checking up on him, making sure he was straight mentally. He said he was going to take some time to himself and kind of kept it short. Then Justin Fields went on to say it sucks, but at the end of the day, you can't control it. You got to go out there with the guys that we have and execute like we did this past Sunday. Wish nothing but the best for Chase. I think he knows that he kind of messed up by saying that, but wish him nothing but the best. These guys seem like they saying they farewells. And I ain't gonna lie to you, Haize.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and even with Cole Kmet's comments, right? We talked about that. Like, I think it was more me and Steve-O. Like, he just kept saying, "I'm there as a friend. I'm there as a everybody knows the writing's on the wall. He's on his way out. The bigger question is, like, do the Bears really think that they can get something back for him? Because otherwise, I don't understand why they haven't cut him yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out myself. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to go ahead and just kind of paint the picture too for people that's gonna say, well, it was a bad thing that Ryan Poles, made this move. I mean, but essentially, like, man, as a GM, you're gonna have hits, you're gonna have players that don't hit. And this is just one of those things that didn't hit, unfortunately. Like, sometimes, a player will have a little bit of a rough patch with a certain team, and sometimes a change of scenery will help them. And unfortunately, the way Chase Claypool and his attitude is, it just appears, at least right now, between Pittsburgh and Chicago, his attitude ain't changed quite yet. So, sometimes you just got to take that and chalk it to the game, charge it to the game, however y'all want to put it. But the writing's on the wall. I think it's about to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, it has to, right? You have to think that it's at the point now where, I mean, why are you keeping them? And that's the point. Like, it's all indications, everything that we're hearing, it all points to the Bears don't plan on trying to repair this relationship, and Chase, it can't be repaired at this point. Like, and we have some things with that, like even hearing that during training camp when him and Tyreek Stevenson got into it, reportedly he was like calling him a bitch and shit like that. Like, that's crazy, right, bro. That's crazy.
That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then, the guys went on and they pretty much just put it out there. Like, that was the day that Chase Claypool got injured. He was on the sideline and he was still carrying on. Who knows what was that? And then you got your head coach coming out saying, we have a standard. Our standard is you have to be on time. You have to have a pretty good behavior. You got to be about the team. You got to have this. So all that stuff, without getting into specifics, is just letting me know is that Chase Claypool was an asshole. That's pretty much what it was. And he wanted to do what he wanted to do, and he wanted to move how he wanted to move. And unfortunately, you can't do that whenever you get employed by somebody else. If you want to go ahead and do what you want to do, start your own football league or start your own business. And then you could probably do what you want. But if you want to have, customers come through and support your product, you can't be a butthole to everybody. But it's unfortunate, man. It is what it is, though. You got to let them go with it. You just got to let them go.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you have to, and this is much like you with anything, you have to ask yourself, if you're hurting the team more, right, by having somebody around. And it seems like the Bears did that. Like, and I get people, and I've seen the comments, especially on the YouTube channel and things like that, where people are like, well, he was telling the truth about coaches. Yeah, but what he didn't tell the truth about was his performance is fucking trash. Right? Fact. Both things can be true. What he said about the coaching staff, I don't disagree that this coaching staff has not put players in the best situation to their abilities. I don't doubt that at all. But you know what else is true? Chase Claypool played like a complete and utter ass. Like he didn't any. There's no reason why somebody over 6 feet and 220 pounds should be getting pushed around as often as Chase Claypool did.
Facts. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially, and I believe, like, you know what I'm saying? Some people were saying it during the live call while the game was going on. They was like, man, the team looked different. They did look different. And, like, we can't ignore that. But I understand we can't ignore the man's talent. He's very, very talented. But he has to channel all of that stuff to where that talent can be able to work and operate with amongst those guys that he's working with, to try to win football games. You can't be the problem. Y'all had a lot of problems. You can't be the main focus and then making it everything about everyone else and not looking at yourself, because it's a team thing. And you already know if one person's trash, everybody got to act like everybody's trash.
That's facts. That's facts. And so, sure. I mean, you gotta continually evaluate. And, unfortunately, Chase Claypool is a miss by Ryan Poles. No way that you can cut it. You can't clean that up. You got to hold that man accountable for that. You gave what now, of course, you didn't know it was going to end up being the 32nd overall pick, but you gave what became basically a first round pick for this guy. And we've gotten nothing out of it. His whole Bears career, we've gotten 2 touchdowns out of it his whole career. If that maybe,
I believe so.
Maybe I'm understating that. So, like, it at the end of the day, the trade was a fail. The reasons why it failed, we can have those conversations all day long about talking why it failed. But the fact of the matter is, it failed. And that's just is what it is. And so, the Bears, Ryan Poles, they got to look at that, right? And we had 2 failed experiments at wide receiver. And I think people forget too, N'Keal Harry, right? Brought both him and N'Keal Harry to be those big targets. And neither one worked out.
Yeah, but I think that people wasn't harping on N'Keal Harry because Bears just gave up like a 7-round pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't hurt that much. But I will keep in mind, like, hey, some of the best teams, they miss out on players. Look, the Eagles traded for Robert Quinn. Couldn't get nothing out of him, y'all. With a defensive line like that, they traded for Robert Quinn. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't crazy draft capital, but all players don't hit. Sometimes they just don't hit. It is what it is. It sucks for sure because I thought he could be a part of this, but it's just obvious that you got to let him go at some point.
Exactly. And that's just what it is. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we got the game on Thursday. Can the Bears get a win? I know we're gonna do our prediction show on Thursday, man. Like, can we please get a win, bro? Like,
I believe we can. And me personally, I would love to see Justin Fields follow up so he can show that the last game was not a fluke. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really, and it's not going to sound the greatest amongst other people, but I don't care. I'm really believing if this guy can come out and string together some solid performance, even if, I'll put it this way, if at the end of the season, Justin Fields goes to the table and they like, yeah, I scored this many touchdowns. I had about 4 or 5 games with 300 plus yards. In the defense, y'all gave up 25 points in just about every one. I'm not the reason we lost. I really believe he might have an opportunity. But when it comes to this Washington game, I think the Bears got to show up. It's good that you're getting Tevin Jenkins back, but I'm cautious about Matt Eberflus and his defense. The offense could be as good as they can, and the Commanders, they offense solid and explosive as well. But the difference in the game is going to be their defensive line with all those stars over there. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and that defensive line is nice. And I really wish that the Bears, like while there have been some bright spots, right, in the offensive line at times, like with Darnell Wright and whatever, this offensive line just leaves so much to be desired, and you never know the level of consistency you're going to get from it, right? You expect a rookie to be inconsistent, so I'm not blaming Darnell Wright.
He's been the best one.
He's been the best. Yeah, our bet. Like, and I know he had some mistakes in last game, absolutely, but he's been the best and most consistent offensive lineman that we had. That's why I'm so excited to potentially get Tevin Jenkins back in this game, because we need as many bright spots as we can get out there, man.
Yeah, and that's how like I said, man, it ain't about losing, it's about how you lose. Because right now, I feel like we had to temper our expectations to what the reality is of the team. You just got to go out and compete at this moment. It will be great if we can win. But right now, I just don't have the faith, to be honest. But I do want to see my quarterback follow up last week with another solid performance this week so he can show the world. It's not my fault. We suck.
Yeah.
My head coach, who's a defensive coordinator, can't get his defense to hold a team under 20 points to save his life.
And that's facts, man. And that's why I hate to see the people who are like, oh no, Justin Fields is the problem. Come on, bro. Like, there's no way you can be wide. And you can always tell when people are just like, oh, well, Justin Fields fumbled the ball late. And it's like, yeah, but I could tell that if that's what you focus on, you think that was the biggest problem. You didn't actually watch the game. Like, and it's just so, like, people want to make these whole blanket statements, and like, Justin Fields is not the problem. Like you said, I really do hope Justin Fields has a return performance like he did in last week, to just show, and people like to put even more of the emphasis on the fact that his offensive coordinator is absolute garbage, bro. Luke Getsy is terrible. He called a solid first half, right? But like, I would have to see Luke Getsy call games like that and make smart calls for 5 games in a row before I'm willing to say this motherfucker isn't an idiot, bro.
Facts. Yeah, because, bro, you plan to win, or you plan, just to score a couple touchdowns to make everything look good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get real with yourselves, and that's what it really comes down to, in my opinion. We gotta be real with ourselves, and you know what I'm saying? And looking at both sides of the ball, what can we change? Why have we seen Tremaine Edmonds as big as he is blitz? I don't know. No. Maybe I missed it. I have not seen.
I don't think we blitz much as a team overall, which is another question.
You go get Noah Sewell, who's been solid, in preseason. Yeah. We seen it and over his time in Oregon as a pass rusher. You can go ahead and try to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Like, figure something out. Let's get creative. Let's do some things on the defensive side of the ball to generate turnovers, because you already know you ain't doing that by rushing 4. So you're going to have to send 5 or 6. You said it in the press conference, but put it on wax. This is really that simple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of gaslighter Matt Eberflus, bro. Like, that's all it is, bro. That man stands up there, and he says a bunch of stuff and flat out lies, bro. And it just be like, come on, Matt, bro. Like,
that man will sell you a 99 Honda and be like, it only had one owner. and it only got 30,000 miles. But keep it a buck, he turned back the odometer.
And yeah, it had one owner, but it was a car rental place, so like 1,000 people drove the car. Like, right? It's just,
come on, man. Like, be honest, bro. That's all it is. That's all it is.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll be back with C-Dub on Thursday as well to preview the game. I wish I felt better about this team. Me too. As you can see, I'm not even in Bears gear, bro. Not even. I had Bulls gear on yesterday's daily episode, bro. Like, I'm just over it, bro. I'm over it, man.
Yeah, it is what it is, bro.
It is, man. Go ahead and send us off, Bobby.
Well, all right, y'all. We appreciate y'all for y'all continued support. We know we've been through some dark days. Hopefully, we can go ahead and see some brighter days. I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all. It's hard to talk about this team when we stink, but y'all support has pushed us through, and hopefully, one day in the very, very near future, we will prevail and be able to smile. But as of right now, we just gonna keep it a buck. Chicago up and bear down, man. Catch y'all on the next.
Definitely. You can follow us at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Chi-Town up, bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.